Tesol, lecturer at CBIC Jakarta, and our moderator, Miss Eni Suprihandani, MPD, lecturer at CBIC Jakarta, and all distinguished participants, students, and guests. Welcome to National Lecture Talk organized by CBIC Jakarta, carrying the theme Digital Prose, a new paradigm of literature. I am Yulini Faras, a student of CBIC Jakarta, and I'm honored to serve as your Master of Ceremony for today's webinar. Thank you for joining us. Before we process further, let me express once again how delighted we are to have you all here today. It's truly encouraging to see such enthusiasm for students, educators, and fellow professionals who share the same passion for literature and its evolving forms in the digital era. We hope this event brings valuable insight and opens up meaningful discussions that enrich our academic journey together. And let me show the agenda for today's webinar. First is opening and agenda reading, 2 prayer, third webinar rules and guidelines, 4 a welcoming speech by the chairman of CBIC Jakarta, 5 is speaker introduction, 6 is presentation session, 7 Q&A session, and the last is closing remarks. Let us now begin this event by expressing our gratitude to the Almighty God. Please take a moment to pray in silence according to your belief, in the hope that today's webinar will process smoothly and meaningfully. Let us pray together. Thank you. And before moving on, allow me to inform you a few important webinar guidelines. First is kindly keep your microphone on mute during the presentation. Second, for any question, please type them in the Zoom chat box. Third, this session is being recorded for documentation purpose. And last is attendance form we will provide for a certificate in form. Now we would like to hear the opening remarks from the chairman of CBIC Jakarta, to Mr. Muqasir Fasik SSMPD. The time is yours.
Okay, well, thank you very much. The host of CBIC Jakarta in this event, Miss Yuliani Fares as a student in CBIC Jakarta. Thank you very much. Well, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good day, sir. Good day.
In this afternoon here, we can meet again, in the special following webinar, especially held by CBIC Jakarta. As we know, this webinar is one of the concept, lecture talk, to provide experiences like our sharings and caring from qualified lecturers of CBIC Jakarta with the best theme that we present, which is the previous one we had entrepreneurship, start your own course today, monetize your English skill by Papa Abdul Muhid Murtado. And now here's we will have the new topic. It is a digital prose in the new paradigm of literatures. I do believe that it will have a lot of beneficial for us, by having listening from our speakers. Well, good afternoon to the webinar participants who I would like to respect all, happy brothers and also lecturers, and friends and students in this Zoom. This webinar is one of the continuation and from the previous one, from community service of CBIC Jakarta related to the lecture talk. And now we have the topic digital prose in new paradigm of literature. Why we have topic digital prose? Digital prose because Ms. Susari is one of our lecturer who have a subject related about prose, the subject prose. So I think Ms. Susari it is famous enough, or familiar enough related about prose, in or understanding prose for the easy new learners. And this is very important, for participants or for the others, can be lecturers, can be students, for society or community to get more and more, yeah. Whenever you wanna learn about prose, wanna create poem or prose, yeah, it will be easier for you and can be as your own book, yeah, later after you have got this one, yeah. We also open space, yeah, for everyone, for lectures or other lecture from STIBA-IC Jakarta who wanna share their knowledge, yeah, to the next lecture talk team. For the next future, we are ready to open to have this webinar, or sometimes we would like to present, yeah, for the alumni talk, yeah, lecture talk, or sometimes student talk someday. We would like to create for it. And this is one of the form of commitment, yeah, in STIBA-IC Jakarta, who always contribute to the community in the context, that we would like to have community service mission. STIBA mission, it is one of mission. It is about community service, and I do believe we have run this one. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and also the participants whom we respect, yeah, this is the activity. We would like to share the knowledge by our lecturer, my best lecturer from one of the teaching lecture in our campus. Her name is Miss Susari Nugrahini SSMC, who want to share her knowledge, yeah, related about digital prose. To start and to open this activity, let us pray. Start this activity will run smoothly, yeah, without any obstacles. For those who are Muslim, please say Basmalah, yeah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Here, the digital prose in new paradigm of literature will be officially open. Thank you very much, and I'll give back to Miss Yuliani Ferez as the host. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, Mr. Mukasul Fasik, for your kind and motivating remarks. Now it's time for us to get know our estimate keynote speaker, Mrs. Sari Nugrahani SS MSc, a lecturer from STIBA-IC Jakarta with experts in literature study, especially prose. Her academic insight and contributes in exploring literature in the digital era are truly remarkable, and we are honored to have her with us today. And we now enter the core of today's event, the keynote presentation. I would like to invite our moderator, Ms. Ani Suprihandani MPD, to lead the session. To Ms. Ani Suprihandani, time is yours.
Thank you very much. Hello? Yeah. Thank you
Hello,
very
Miss.
much, Miss Yuli, the host, the beautiful host, yeah, as always. Thank you for the time, and my big thanks to Bapak Muklas as the chairman of STIBA-IC Jakarta for letting me the moderator of this webinar. And also thank you for all participants joining this webinar. Let me introduce myself. I am Miss Annie. I am a lecturer at STIBA-IC Jakarta. I'm glad I was chosen to be the moderator of this webinar. It's not because of this webinar is about literature, as I'm always interested in. But it's also because this webinar will be delivered by a special speaker, that is Ibu Susari Nugraini. I can say that she is very special after reading her profile, and I'm really admired of her. Give me a little time to give information about our speaker today, Ibu Susari Nugraini. As I say that she's special because she's still young, but she has many experiences in her life, especially in the world of education. Okay. As we know, from the titles, okay, behind her name, we know that she majors in literature and also English teaching, English teaching for foreign students, I mean for foreign language students, and I acknowledge that she completed, she got her master degree in UK in 2017, and now she is a lecturer at Stiba IC and also at some other universities in Jakarta. Okay, so she's not only a lecturer, not only an educator, right? Yeah, as educator, besides teaching, Ibu Sari also established an education foundation located in Central Jakarta. And then as she's also a writer, okay, this is very impressive. As a writer, she has published many journals and articles. And also she has also published literary literary works, such as short stories, novels, and poems. Remarkable, yeah. And then not only lecturer, educator, and writer, she's also a social activist who has joined with many organizations related with social and community involvement. Very nice to know that Ibu Susari is a very remarkable person. Okay, and of course, uh, she became speakers in some conferences, in webinars. Now, sekarang beliau bersama kita. She is here. She will be willingly to deliver, to transfer her knowledge about digital prose, okay, in digital era, paradigm in digital. Okay, Ibu Susari, time is yours. Okay, participants, let's pay attention and listen to Ibu Susari Nugraha.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much, Ma'am Annie. Wow, what a wonderful introduction. I feel so honored. Thank you very much. But before I will greet all the audiences here. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Miss.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, it is very nice for me in this weekend. It's very beautiful weekend. I can meet you all. But before, let me say thank you to Pak Muklas as the head of Stiba IC for the opportunity for me to have this. I say it like a discussion with all the participants, and also Ma'am Annie for the beautiful introduction, and also as a moderator, and Miss Yuliani as the host, and all the committees and also dear participants. And yes, like Ma'am Annie has already mentioned, today we are going to discuss about prose, and let me share the screen. Give me a second. Okay, give me a second. Go now. Then give me a second minute. Okay. Shit. Well, oh. Thank you for listening. It's not this part. I will go. Here we go now. Okay, digital prose. And I hope that all the participants here are book lovers, so we can have fruitful discussion after I share some knowledge that I know about prose. So or maybe later, if you have more information or knowledge about this, you may share as well in the end of this presentation. Yeah, because digital prose is something, yeah, quite new, I think. Okay, digital prose, a new paradigm of literature, is it? Okay, well, before I, explain more, discuss more about what is prose, what is digital prose, I have a questions for all of you, dear participants. What is prose actually? In your knowledge, in your perspective, what is actually prose? Whether this kind of literary works like, well, yes, here we have fictions, like Charles Dickens or Agatha Christie's works, Judith Blume, those are my favorite actually, or this kind of works, biography, journal, article, and essay. So in your opinion, ladies and gentlemen, I need your participation. What is actually prose? Which one? Whether this one, the biography in the non-fiction one, or this one, the fiction one? Could you jot down your answer on the chat box? I will give you like, 30 seconds maybe. So in your opinion, which one is prose? Or maybe both of them. It's up to you. So I need your voices. Could you?
May I see, excuse me, may I say
yes.
words? Okay. Please, if I'm wrong, correct me. I just have a limited knowledge. So I think prose is a particular text that could be in narrative, argumentative, and descriptive. And those texts are discussing specific like biography or even narrations. And the aim of those texts trying to give the readers certain meaningful messages. I mean, it can be like in research maybe, or like fiction, non-fiction, or even fiction. Maybe that's my limited knowledge, ma'am. I'm sorry. Okay, you can give me additional or maybe complete explanations. Thank you, madam.
My
Sorry.
pleasure, Mr. Bobby. Very nice. Thank you for your sharing thought. Okay, others, anyone? You may open mic or just chat on the chat box. 1 or 2 seconds more. What do you think? Okay. Maybe you're shy or still having lunch while listening. It's okay. Okay, yeah, exactly correct. Pak Bobby, Mas Bobby, or Mr. Bobby. I do agree with you. Well, so both of them are prose, whether it is fiction or non-fiction. Yeah, because, like Mr. Bobby said again, so the point of prose is delivering the messages. So, according to some references, it is mentioned that prose is the written equivalent of the spoken language. It is written in the words. Okay, there is a chat here. Let me check. Okay, Pak Budi, prose is works of language that have values in them, such as social, political messages, and so on. Okay, thank you very much, Pak Budi. Very nice. Yeah, I do agree as well. So, so I will continue. And prose is in the form of words, phrases, sentences, paragraphs, and chapters. And it also has some rules like punctuation, grammar, vocabulary to develop its message. And prose is made up of fiction and non-fiction. And actually, the way you speak every day, it could be considered as a prose as well. If someone followed you around, and if you are an artist or you are like famous persons, for example, and there is someone followed you and then like make a note about what you do and your speak, and then they make it in the form of written expression, written works. So it is also prose. Therefore, in second, here we go. Yeah, prose is in the form of fiction, which are novels, mystery, detective, romance, story, historical fictions, and also in the form of non-fiction as well, like essays, autobiographies, speeches, journals, articles. So Mr. Bobby and Pak Budi, both of you are correct. Very nice. Perfect. You will get gift from Stiva maybe. No, I'm kidding. Well, so what is digital literature actually? This kind of form of new way of reading, yeah, I can say that, is due to the advances of technology. Well, so the literary world has undergone a significant transformation with the advance of digital technology. Okay, so the rise of digital literature has opened up a new avenues for authors, readers, and scholars to engage with text in the innovative ways. And if you are familiar with Kindle, this kind of one of tools to read using technology, or yeah, it's kind of what is it tools in this digital era of literature. Later we will discuss it a little bit about Kindle as well. Okay, so let's we discuss a little bit about history of digital prose and its development, yeah. And digital literature has its roots in the early days of computing. So the development of technology, development of computer, give a very big impact on the literature as well. The first digital literary works emerged in 60s and 70s with the development of computer-generated poetry and interactive fiction. Okay, these early experiments laid the groundwork for the diverse range of digital literature. So, over the years, digital literature has evolved to incorporate various forms of electronic textuality, like hypertext fiction. So when you read using Kindle, for example, or using Project Gutenberg or something else, sometimes you find out a link. Nah, this is called hypertext fiction. Interactive narratives and multimedia storytelling. Yeah, later maybe I can discuss more about these kind of things later. Yeah, because there are still many to discuss. Well, the widespread adoption of the internet and mobile devices has further accelerated the growth of digital literature. So enabling the authors to reach global audiences and experiment with new forms of storytelling. So there are some characteristics of digital prose. Well, the first thing is about electronic textuality, which enables new forms of interaction, immersion, and engagement. I will explain one by one, yeah. The first one is about interactivity. Digital prose often involves reader participation, allowing user to influence the narrative or outcome of the story. In this context, if you still remember my students in English prose, not this semester, but two previous one, yeah. If you still remember, I invited my friend Lucy Suryani. She is a writer. Especially, she loves to write in a digital platform, yeah. And she said that her work actually hasn't finished yet. When she uploaded her story in a platform like Wattpad, she hasn't finished the story. Then she opens the reader's participation to give like comment or maybe idea or inspiration to make the story more maybe interesting to read, or to give like inspiration how the story will be end up. So it is called interactivity. Now it happens in digital prose. Maybe in the not maybe in the traditional one, we cannot make it something like that. Yeah, so when we publish book, yeah, it must be finished. But in digital era, in digital prose, you still can like publish your works but it hasn't finished yet. So it is very interesting, I think. And the other characteristic of digital prose is about multimodality. So there are various things in it. Digital prose frequently incorporates multiple media forms such as text, images, audio, and video to create a rich and immersion experience. We can find it a lot nowadays from YouTube, or something that usually I use is Literary Cloud. So every week, well, actually my foundation Annie is in Jogja, not in Jakarta, in Jogja. So every week, I do storytelling to my kindergarten students in Jogja using Literary Cloud, sorry, by Zoom. So there are a lot of multimodality in the story. We can use pictures, of course, images, colorful images, and also if you want to have audio, it is also available in Literary Cloud. So multimodality happens in digital prose. And then hypertextuality. Digital prose often employs hyperlinks, enabling readers to navigate nonlinear narratives and explore different story paths. Hypertextuality, like I said before, so it is a link for the readers to check or to know more about the case. For example, the story is about history Elizabethan era. So the readers will put the link there to make the writer put the link, so the reader will know more about the era by clicking that link. This is hypertextuality. And then the fourth one is dynamic content. Digital prose can include dynamic elements such as animation, simulation, generative content, which enhance the reading experience. Yeah, dynamic content here could be in the form of video, yeah, in YouTube, in video story. So you can find dynamic content there. Nice. So now, how the role of electronic textuality in shaping digital prose? Well, of course, yeah, electronic textuality has played a crucial role in shaping digital prose because this is the primary tools, yeah. The use of digital technologies has enabled authors to experiment with new forms of storytelling, such as interactive narratives and multimedia storytelling. Electronic textuality has also facilitated the creation of new genres and styles, like hypertext fiction and generative poetry. So, but we do not talk about poetry, we talk about prose, the hypertext fiction. Okay. So this kind of the schema, yeah. So by using electronic textuality, it enables interactivity between the writers and also the readers to create new form of storytelling. We can like open a story like my friend Lucy did or does, yeah, because she is still active until now. So she hasn't made up the story until the end of the story, but still like maybe a half of it, and she asks the audience's participation to make the story more, well, interesting to read maybe. And also we can like ask in the form of storytelling activity, we can ask the audiences to include in the story by asking questions, or they also read the story. It is the interactivity things. And then electronic textuality facilitates multimodality. There are plenty, of course, yeah, to expand genre and style. It's music, and also images, and many kind of colors, many things, many multimodality on electronic textuality. And it also supports hypertextuality, which enables nonlinear narratives and enhances dynamic content, which enhances immersive experience. So the readers will feel diverse in the story. Okay. How about the new forms and formats in digital prose? Yeah. The first one is about hypertext fiction, a genre characterized by nonlinear narratives and driven storytelling. And the second one, interactive fiction, a genre that involves reader participation, often through choice-based narratives or interactive simulation. And the last one is multimedia storytelling, a format that combines text, images, audio, and video to create immersive and engaging narrative. So this is the most popular, I think, yeah, multimedia storytelling. Interactive fiction, interactive fiction is also, multimedia storytelling. Okay, and then the impact of electronic textuality on traditional forms of literatures. The famous one is ebooks. I think you are very familiar in ebooks, since like maybe this decade, around this decade, ebook is very famous. Ebook is digital version of printed books which offer new features such as adjustable font sizes, annotation, and hyperlinks. You can read by your laptop or Kindle, Kindle Amazon or Kindle itself, this kind of Kindle. And these are some examples of prose or works that implement the technology and also literature, digital prose. We have Michael Joyce, Afternoon a Story. So the genre is hypertext fiction. Key features is nonlinear narratives, reader-driven, and also storytelling. And then Stuart Moultrop's Victory Garden. The title is Victory Garden. It is a hypertext fiction, and the key features are multiple narrative paths, reader participation. And also we have Kristen Brooke Rose, Surrender, as experimental novel. It is a multiple narrative choices, experimental typography. And also This is How You Will Die by Jason Nelson. It is an interactive fiction. So the key features are reader choice plus animation, dynamic narrative. So this is the images. Let me show you. Nah, okay. This is Afternoon a Story, Victory Garden, Surrender in the form of the ebook, and then this is How You Will Die. So interesting, right? Okay, so how about the future of digital prose then? The future of digital prose is likely to be shaped by continued innovation and experimentation in the field, related to the technology. As digital technologies continue to evolve, we can expect to see new forms and format emerge, as well as new challenges and opportunities for authors, readers, and scholars. So it is very possible in the next 10 years, maybe there will be a new way of reading, a new way of digital prose. Cannot wait that day. Well, the potential for further innovation and experimentation. So we have virtual and augmented reality, the use of VR and AR technologies to create immersive and interactive literary experiences. And we have artificial intelligence and machine learning, the use of AI and ML to generate dynamic content such as poetry or narrative, or to create personalized reading experiences. So you can tailored literary works, something like that. And then social media and online communities. The use of social media platforms and online communities to create new forms of collaborative storytelling and reader engagements. If you still use Facebook, ladies and gentlemen, so you can find many stories in many versions, in many forms, in that social media. Mostly Facebook, in my experience, Facebook, you can find like drama, like short story, or even novella or novel. Okay. The challenges and opportunities presented by electronic textuality. So yes, of course, there is drawbacks in everything, positive and drawbacks. And the challenges here, this called challenges about future of digital prose. The first one is about preservation and achieving. The need to develop strategies for preserving and achieving digital literature, which is often ephemeral and dependent on specific technologies. So we need to have, like cloth, to save the works. And then accessibility and inclusivity. They need to ensure that digital literature is accessible to diverse audiences, including those with disabilities. Okay. And copyright and ownership. The need to navigate issues of copyright and ownership in the digital environment. It is also a matter. The next one is about global reach and accessibility. Digital literature can be easily distributed and accessed globally, reaching new audiences and readers. This is about the opportunities. And new forms of collaboration and creativity. So you can like do co-writing, with your friends from other countries. It's very interesting that. So digital literature enables new forms of collaboration and creativity, such as collaborative storytelling and interactive narratives. And also innovative storytelling and expression. Digital literature allows authors to experiment with new forms of storytelling and expression, pushing the boundaries of literary art. Okay. So, how about the role of digital literature in shaping the future of storytelling and literature itself? So now we in this part. Well, of course, digital literature is likely to play a significant role, in shaping the future of storytelling and literature. As the field continues to evolve because of the technology always develops and will be developed, we can expect to see new forms and formats emerge, as well as new challenges and opportunities for the authors, readers, and also the scholars. So this kind of the formnya, equationnya, represent relationship between digital literature and future of storytelling. So digital literature will be in the form of innovation, experimentation, and collaboration. And now we in the phase of platform. What kind of platform? If you ask, what kind of platform that we can read prose digitally? There are plenty, actually, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe you know more. You can share later. So we have ebooks, we have Project Gutenberg, and we have Wattpad and something else. Yeah. For a vast collection of free ebooks, Project Gutenberg offers a wide variety of titles, particularly older works. If you love to read classic literature, you can find Project Gutenberg site to find out more about the works, about the prose. And platform like Wattpad, Smashwords, cater to readers and writers. And Wattpad focusing more on a larger community of the readers and primarily focus on teen fiction. Wattpad is like, love story and something that related to the teenager's life or young adult, adult life. For access to library books, Overdrive, this is a free, allows users to borrow ebooks and audio books using their library cards. So you have to register that. Other options include Google Play Books, Kindle, Kindle. Kindle, there are many free works, but some you need to buy. But it's okay. Kindle is, I think, worth enough to have. And Apple Books, if you have Apple, you can read using your phone as well. And all of them offering a mix of purchase and borrowed content. Free and open access. Project Gutenberg, like I have said before, provide so many free books, 7,500 free ebooks focusing on older works. And There are in the public domain, so you do not need to worry about the legal things, legal issues, because it is open. You can download or read them online in a format like EPUB and Kindle. And Wattpad, a popular platform for reading and writing, particularly popular among young adults and featuring a large community of readers and writers. Ebook retailers and readers, Google Play Books, yeah, but sometimes you pay some money in order to have books from Google Play, offer a wide selection of ebooks for case with the ability to read them on various devices. Amazon Kindle, yeah, the Kindle ecosystem provides a vast library of ebooks with the option to purchase and read on Kindle devices or through the Kindle app, but some of them also free in Kindle. Apple Books, similar to Google Play Books and Kindle, Apple Books allows users to purchase and read ebooks on Apple devices. Smashwords, a platform for self-published authors. So if you want to write prose, you may use Smashwords and also Wattpad, yeah, offering a wide variety of ebooks, including those that might not be available on larger platforms. And if your works quiet often to be clicked by readers, you will get money. This is my friend's experience in Wattpad and other platforms. Okay, OneDrive, this is a library access. This app, often used in conjunction with library cards, allows users to borrow ebooks and audiobooks from their local libraries. And we have Libby as well. Often used in conjunction with library cards, allows users to borrow ebooks and audiobooks from their local libraries, similar to Overdrive. Yeah, even it is online, but still you need to connect with the ini ya, the office ya, the registration office. Okay. And other notable platform, we have Script. It is also quite popular, and it is, yeah, good case. Offer a subscription-based service for access to a wide range of ebooks and audiobooks. We have Audible, focus on audiobooks, providing a wide selection for purchase and listening. Yeah, if you want to have a listening activity, listening practice, you can use this Audible, but you need to pay some money. AB Reader, a versatile e-reader app that supports various formats like EPUB, MOBI, and PDF, offering features like night mode and text-to-speech. Well, also for prose, for children, especially children, yeah, children literary works, you can use, I forgot the name, Literary Cloud that I mentioned, yeah, in the early. So it is free and plenty of stories from various writers. You can find the English one. If you want to have another languages as well, you may find there as. So it is worth to dive more, I mean. Well, so I think this is almost the end of my discussion about digital prose. Well, the evolution of digital literature is transforming the literary world in profound ways. As we move forward, it is essential to continue exploring the possibilities and challenges presented by electronic textuality, and to foster a deeper understanding of the role of digital literature in shaping the future of storytelling and literature. So let's be adapt with everything and adjust with technology. I think that's all that I want to share for today. So I will give it back the time to Ma'am Annie. So thank you very much for listening.
Wow, very impressive and very informative webinar delivered by Ibu Susari Nugraini, okay, about the existence of prose in digital era by giving information to us, kinds of prose, and especially the platforms facilitate digital literature, right? And it is a kind of good opportunity for us, yeah, for everybody to be more creative by involving, yeah, getting involved in writing prose, either fiction or non-fiction. Okay, once again, thank you very much, Ibu Susari. Hopefully that this webinar will be very useful. Of course, yeah, it's useful for us and for readers and for everybody. Okay, well, now we are coming to the session of question and answer for participants. Please, you can give some questions if there is something you want to know more or unclear yet about digital prose. Okay, Eva Agistiawati.
Okay, thank you, Miss Annie Suprihandani, for the opportunity given to me. Good afternoon, everyone. Ibu Susari, do you remind me?
I'm so sorry.
Remember.
Okay. We are the same alumni at Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta. I'm Sasing 2005
Oh,
A
really?
class.
May I know your
Yes.
face more? Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
maybe Mhm.
Yeah, we are so maybe around 20 years
Okay.
already, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want us to ask you about digital prose, yeah. What will the future of digital process trends to be like in the coming years, and what should we prepare to face them? I think that is my question related to the digital prose in this session. Thank you.
I think I remember you now.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
The future of digital prose. Okay. So,
Yeah,
Thank you.
for the next question from Bapak from wait, hang on. How significant from Mas Majid, yeah? How significant the influence of artificial intelligence (AI) on digital prose? Okay, thank you for the question, Mas Majid.
Yep.
Okay, two by two, I guess. Bu Susari, you can answer the first question.
Okay.
Continue to the second
The
one.
second question. Well, the question are very, very wonderful. Need to think more about the answer. Well, the first one is from Miss Eva. Okay, nice to meet you in the Zoom. I hope that you have a happy weekend then. Miss Eva, the future of digital prose. Yeah, how is about the future of digital prose? Well, it is very interesting question and interesting discussion. Since the digital prose, related to the epoch of technology, so it will be unpredictable what forms then, yeah, like in the past I think, yeah, we never imagined that we can like read a book from tools like Kindle, like Kindle, yeah, this kind of forms, yeah, it is from from this kind of devices, from the Kindle we can read a lot of books, we can save a lot of works there, and it's something that maybe in the past, in the like 50 years ago, we never imagined that. But then in the like Kindle has already famous in around I think 20 something, yeah. So it depends on the how technology develop that. And also the effect of AI as well. So I can like answer directly in the second question, how significant AI and digital prose? Yeah, so both of them very influence the form of prose. Well, I imagine that maybe in the future we can read prose from like smartwatch, for example. Yeah, it is too small, but yeah, it maybe happens. Yeah, I mean it will be happens there. And then we can like have a not written, so written written story, but in the audio, so you can like storytelling, yeah, telling activity, but in the form of prose, something like that. And well, so it is also related to immersion, collaborative things. Yeah. So in the future, I also imagine that we can have like collaborative writing with other writers, maybe from around the world, to make this a form of literary works more developed. So it is called like interactive fiction, interactive prose, yeah, interactive fictions. And okay, so yeah. Oh wait, let me imagine another things about technology in shaping the prose. Well, yes. So I guess that's all that I can like think, yeah, about the future of digital prose. So we can like do like more immersive and also collaborative writing with other writers, and it is like open collaborative activities, like the things that my friends does. So she hasn't finished the story, and she asks the readers, the audiences, to give like idea to finish the works. So it is more open. It is more open or more free writing activities than before. And how significant AI in digital prose? Well, so it is make it easier for the writers, yeah, to like find out the idea, for example, and to create the storyline, because we can use it, to as a tools to help to develop the idea, and also in the form of multimodality in AI. I think we can ask help the AI as well, to make it how to make the story more various in the form of multimodality factors like images, audio, and then colors and other things. Yeah, that's all I can say, Miss Eva, and also Mas Abdul
Majid.
Majid. Yeah, I hope that it is quite satisfying you.
Okay, now let's come to the next question will be asked by Mas Bobby Yuskar. Please
Excuse
do.
me, Miss.
Yes.
Assalamualaikum.
Excuse me, Miss Annie and Miss Susari, sorry. May I have a brief moment? Dear participants, we would like to kindly remind you to fill out the attendance form that has been shared in the chat box. So thank you. Let's continue our discussion.
Okay, thank you, Miss Yuli, for reminding all participants to fill in the attendance in the link. Okay, continue, Mas Bobby Yuskar. Please do.
Assalamualaikum. Good
Salam.
afternoon, Miss Susari.
Yes,
I'm really keen to see your slides about multimodality and hypertext. can you please briefly return to those slides of yours? I would like from one side, I would like to ask question about
Okay.
hypertext and then multimodality.
Give me a
I mean,
second. Which one?
yeah,
This one.
hypertext and multimodality. Yeah, there are
Yeah.
some features can be additional tools that enhance. Yeah. So currently, I'm also learning and also using Arabic. Yeah, لغات العربية. I mean, I can speak a bit. And also, I also speak Nihongo Benko Susumas Imasen. Yeah. So I mean, uh, from those, I mean, if you can share us the slide. Yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, yeah, from modality and hypertext, yeah, there are something or additional things that we can add there. For example, like cross languages. Yeah. For example, when I am reading English to my students, yeah, in BSI can also interpret or instantly translate into Arabic language for my students in
Yes.
Medina, Mecca, or Egypt, or my friends in Tokyo, Osaka, Yokohama, and something. Because English is not the only global language, yeah, people. I mean, so we can also speak at least additional language. Yeah. So my question is here, maybe from that two things, yeah, Miss Susari, yeah, multimodality and hypertext, yeah. For example, like one famous Charles Dickens or Leo Tolstoy from Russia, yeah. So after we read and then I share to my students, yeah, in my campus, yeah, if I want to pick, if I want to select maybe into Japanese, Nihongo, or Arabic, Arabia, there is instant interpretation or like real-time translation for my students from different global languages. What do you say? I mean, I need your enlightenment
Yeah.
or your information. Thank you, madam. Forgive me
Thank
for
you.
my limited knowledge. Thank you.
Okay, probably. Very nice. Oh, are you also teaching language?
I teach English, but sometimes
Ah.
I teach Arabic, but not much because I was in Mahat. And then when I went to Japan a few years ago, I only limited Japanese language because I have to survive
Mashallah.
in 2 months in Suzuka, Osaka, Tokyo, but mostly Arabic. When I went to Medina and Makkah, so I became sudden translator at the time, but only
Mashallah.
from Al-Quran language. Yeah, not the
Ah.
Pasaran Arabic language.
Okay.
Sorry.
Wow. So skillful. It's very nice. Wonderful, Bobby. Yep. So about the hypertextuality of the hyperlink. Well, yes, it is very possible. I remember about the Kindle. Yeah, still using the Kindle. So in Kindle, yeah, unfortunately I cannot like show you how is it. Yeah, but in Kindle, yeah, this is or in Kindle, in the text of the Kindle. So sometimes you can find the hyperlink, and if you click the hyperlink, you can find out the meaning of it. For example, there is a word that maybe is not quite familiar, and there is like hyperlink there. If you click it, so there will be a translation of it. There is a meaning of it. So it is very possible, and it happens now. Well, yes. So I just think that this kind of thing also can be in the future of digital prose, yeah. Miss Annie, yes. Miss Eva, sorry. In the future, also it is very possible then that we can directly translate. So using from one Kindle, for example, one Kindle in English. But if we want to change the language, we simply like click some button or something, so we can read in other language like Arabic, like Japanese, like Pak Bobby mentioned kayak gitu. So it is very possible in the future using one device we can learn many languages only from one Kindle, for example. We can learn many things using one Apple Books. We can like just choose the language that we want. I think it is very possible in the future. So it is in the future of digital prose then. I hope that it is answering your question, Mbak Bobi.
Thank you. Shukran. Arigatou gozaimashita. Shukran.
My pleasure.
Okay, thank you, Mas Bobby. Now let's go to the next question from Pronika. How can the teacher build literacy by using the digital technology for schoolers?
Give me a second. Let
Okay,
me.
necessary. How can the teacher build literacy by using the digital technology for school?
Okay. The teacher using technology for the schooler, yeah, the schooler.
Yeah.
Okay. In my when I was I was a high school teacher actually, and I had an experience when using video to introduce literary works to my student in high school, and this is become my dissertation topic when I took my master degree. So read the response using literary works for teaching English to the high school students. So actually, students are they are keen on story, especially like video or watching movie and songs, something like that. So something that they can like simply sit down and watch the thing. So I think it is easier for the teachers to introduce English to the students by using the video, using the digital things compare the previous one using the traditional one. So how is it? Well, yep, we can combine, like for example, for the introduction, we can introduce some vocabulary, some difficult vocabularies for the students or new vocabularies, to the students by flashcard things or other activities. And after that, we can like watch a video together, watch movies together, and then after that we can have like discussion to the story and also other things, or if it is related to the English activity, English skill, so we can discuss about the grammar, about the structure. So I think it's very, very possible, and it is, well, nice things to do in this era, especially in the when technology has developed fastly. Yeah, I hope that it is answering your question, Miss Veronica.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Now for the next question from Maya. Maya used to love visiting literature website, but no more. No longer for some reason. And then the question, how can you encourage people to keep visiting the website instead of relying only on social media?
Okay, I will show you the literacy cloud that I mentioned. A minute, I will stop share first. Okay, my idea is literary. Please visit literary cloud. A minute, literary cloud. Please try to find out the platforms that has a very interesting images and content. For example, this one. This is my favorite, one of my favorite. I usually use it for giving storytelling to my students in Jogja. So there are plenty of books, and not only in English, you can find other languages as well here. Okay, let me see. For example, this one. So in this platform, in this story, especially in the story, so the color, the pictures are very enchanting, I think. So my suggestion, my idea is find more, dig more, try to find more a website that you think that it is interesting to use, because there are plenty, there are million, I think, in a website you can find platform that interesting to read. So this is one of my suggestion. the literary cloth, but it is for children, and it is not only written, but you can also have audio in literary cloth. So this is my answer, Mbak Maya, ya.
Yes, from Maya.
How can
Okay.
you encourage people to keep using the website instead of relying on social media? Yeah, find some interesting pages, website. There are plenty of it. One of them is literacy cloth.
Okay, thank you. This is very informative, Ibu Susari, ya. Okay. One more question, maybe. Anyone, please? If there is no more, my question from me, Ibu Susari, can I?
Yes, please.
Yeah, you
Ma'am.
told me that one of your friends, based on your friend's experience, that writing fiction on one platform, and then yeah, I could actually, I mean, let's say if I write a fiction of prose in one platform and I intentionally leave it or don't finish it and let it open for readers to give idea or even to finish the prose. My question is, what about the ownership, the legacy of the ownership? So, written by me or by barang-barang gitu. Okay, Bu Susari, thank you.
Okay, well, I'm fine. Not my friend's name, but I still cannot find it. Okay, let me think. Okay, well, yes. So the point is not the point still the writers will write. So no, something like this. The readers cannot join in doing writing in that platform, but just give me the idea. But the
I
writer,
see.
yeah, will do it. The writer will do it. So it is just
Okay.
open like in the platform. There is like chat discussion, like chat box, something like that, and you can do discussion there, and the writers can ask question. Well, dearest readers, what do you think? How is your opinion? Blah 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 blah, something like that. And the writer still can like revise the story after that, because it is in apa using technology, so you can still edit it like blog. So then the what is it? The principle is like blog, so you can like edit your story in the platform, something like that. So still the legal still and the writers has it. So yeah,
The
just
involvement just
for
about giving the
giving
idea.
the idea.
Yeah, the
Exactly.
writer will finish the.
The
Okay,
story.
thank you,
Yeah.
Ibu Susari, for
My
the
pleasure.
answer. Okay, participants, if there is no more questions, it's time to close our webinar today. Let me close by giving conclusion by saying what Ibu Susari said, that about prose in this digital era. Okay, let me add something like that. Sastra mewakili zamannya. Literature represents the age, right?
Yes,
Now we
exactly.
are in digital era, so let's adapt and get along with any era we are in. Okay, to get involved, to kalau kata Pak Jokowi, biar tidak tertinggal gitu, tertindas, harus mengikuti teknologi. Okay. Very useful, very informative webinar from Ibu Susari Nugraini. This can enrich our knowledge about digital prose. Let me give the time back to Miss Yuliani as the host. Once again, Ibu Susari, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Miss. Okay, we would like to express, first we would like to express our gratitude to Ms. Annie Suprihandani, MPD, who has skillfully guided today's discussion as the moderator, and also our distinguished speaker, keynote speaker, Ms. Susari Nugrahani, SSMSG, for the insightful presentation of the paradigm shift of literature in this digital era. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, experience, and the time. May the insightful today continue to inspire about and enrich our understandings of literature. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now arrived at the end of our webinar. We strongly hope that this session has been insightful and inspiring for all of you. And before we end this session, let's open your camera to take a picture together. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think it's enough. Ladies and gentlemen, before we conclude, please do not forget to fill out the attendance form, share in the chat box. Your certificate will be informed accordingly. Me, Yuliani Perez, on behalf of the commit, thank you for your attention. And participant, we apologize that for any shortcoming throughout this event. Thank you and have a great day.
Happy weekend.
Happy weekend, Miss. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank
Salam
you,
ladies
Miss
ya.
Susari,
Izin
Miss
Lee.
Annie.